You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the welcome to the show. My name is Dave, and this is a Fistful Podcast from FFOPradio.com. Back for another great episode. I'll get into that in a second. Joining, I better write it down though first. No, I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so the thing is, I was like, sorry, guest, Airsats, not named guest yet. I was thinking about, you know what? Maybe I'll just move to YouTube and get rid of the website, but it automatically dumps to YouTube, and then I would have to change my intro, and change is not something that fits well into something you've done for basically 10 years. Anyway, let me introduce you to my guest all the way from the East Coast once again. See, I remembered, but forgot the specifics. Obviously, RJ Snacks, Mr. Robbie Snack Bar himself, back on the show. What's up, RJ?
You remembered my full name. I am honored.
Hey, well, Adam and Andy ran me through the fucking paces because every month they would have a new nickname or whatever, alternate metalkin name and their furry shit. I don't know. Allegedly. I'll just say that so I can't get sued by them. Of course, Krista's over here on the chair.
I am over here on the chair.
See? Fuck it. I changed from a couch to a chair, and it is like you can feel the show come to a screeching halt every time.
Chair.
And then I've got to stop and be like, well, now we've got to address it because the show's come to a stop, and I don't want anybody getting off the tram.
Well, I honestly, when you said that, I was just like, wait a second. I always pictured like a love seat or a couch, and now, like, what happened to the room?
So we're in a different studio. Everybody knows this story. We're in a different studio. The couch is gone. It's in a different room. There are chairs here for interview and live type stuff. So, blah. So, RJ, how long have you had a cat?
I mean, it's not my cat. It's my girlfriend's cat.
Okay. Well, how long have you been living with this cat?
I've been living with the cat for 3.5 years now.
And so here's the thing. I grew up. I shouldn't say grew up. I was in high school. I was pretty much grown. I had full pubes. When I was in high school, I had a friend who had a fuck ton of cats, right? And there were litter boxes all over the house, like every 3 or 4 feet. Ugh. And I remember one time I was over there, we were playing Diablo 2. Fucking crazy. Listening to Disturbed, whatever that album that Down with the Sickness was on. It might have just been called Sickness. Doesn't matter. So we're playing and keep all that, and we're talking to each other. And then a cat comes to the litter box that just so happens to be in the doorway and starts having the loudest shit ever. Like, it cut through all of that distraction. And we're watching this cat just like blast ass, not 4 feet from the desk. And like, my friend finally goes over and kicks the door closed finally. But he fucking put me through like 10 seconds of that shit.
Literally.
Awful. So,
and of course, as you say that, I don't know if you could hear, but like the cat came over and brought me a toy.
Oh, I thought you could say he was shitting in the background. But I know that already
wailing
happened.
Away. Yeah.
But so, that's the thing about cats though, man. Like, they are the worst. I don't know how you feel about cats, RJ, but I feel like they are just the fucking worst because they shit indoors and you have to like, oh my God.
Well, so do rabbits and guinea pigs and all of those.
Yeah, I don't want any of those either. Like, I'm so not interested. Like, because everybody's like, oh, cats are so low maintenance, right? Except they're super high maintenance because they get fucking urinary tract infections all the goddamn time. Like, their food, they're so finicky and they crap inside, and you have to like hopefully get one of those robot
does it itself.
Kitty litter butlers. Yeah, because Jesus, again back to that friend. So many cat boxes, and when you have that many, economy is king. So it's basically like a plastic laundry box with newspaper in that shit.
Well, I find like that's why I like this cat because it's elderly and chubby, so it can't jump on anything. So it stays ground level, or maybe like a couch, hops under the bed.
All right, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
But like for me, cats are like if it was just a regular like playful non-fat cat, like it would stress me the hell out because I'm afraid it's gonna jump on the counter, eat some food, or hop on the stove, or or knock something over. Like a dresser is gonna fall over on it, and that's what I think about all the time. So I'm just happy that this cat would just stay on the ground level.
You're more concerned about the cat's welfare. See, I'm 180 degrees the opposite. I do not want a cat that, it. Have you ever seen a cat shit in a litter box without using any of its feet to touch the shit? And then imagine that just bouncing around where you prepare food. Ugh. Like anywhere there's food that has a cat that's like a bodega or a restaurant or a convenience store, I go, no, thank you. Because they consistently paw at their shit. And I realize dogs don't have the cleanest feet, but I'm not inviting them up onto the counter either.
Yeah, like the dog's not going to hop on the dining room table.
Yeah, oh my God. Like, what the woof? Yeah, whatever. Love your cat.
Somebody did an experiment. I think they put like lipstick on the cat's butt, and then just to see where the cat like sat, and the lipstick was everywhere. It was on the counters, it was on the tables, it was on the chairs, so just cat butt.
Why would you
everywhere.
put can you imagine being the person that applied lipstick to a cat's ass?
All right, hold still, Whiskers.
I mean, not that there aren't people like beating down that door, but like the thing would be like you're putting lipstick on all your shit. Like if you have a leather sofa or like a canvas sofa or whatever, you're like basically just, hey, check it out. This is how I ruined everything I own with a cat's asshole and some lipstick.
It's not something they did daily. They just did it once.
Right, but still, then you're like kissing goodbye to like everything. Because then here's the implication, RJ. When you see one roach, it's implied there are 1,000 more you cannot see. So the one time you put lipstick on your cat's asshole and then get over the awkwardness thereafter, and all the implied lipstick cat asshole marks all over your house, you have to times that by 1 billion because it happens all the time. And not only in the same spot, but like everywhere. Everywhere in your house. If you've got a cat and there's a flat surface, a cat butthole has been on it.
Even yours.
Even yours. Your buttholes touch it in the night. That's when they sneak in. They steal your breath and touch buttholes.
And if you walk around barefoot in your house, you're walking in cat butthole.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Why do people have cats, RJ?
I don't want any pets.
Here's the thing. I'm easygoing when it comes to pets that are in enclosures. Like we've got a leopard gecko, totally fine with that. It cannot contaminate any foodstuffs, the water supply. It can't destroy anything or anybody. It's so small. Then I got a tank over here with 4 bark scorpions in it, and they're happy as clams. And so am I, because they're stuck in there. And also 2 beetles to clean up their leftovers. But completely self-contained. Like, there's never any like worry about if I'm giving them a special diet or whether I need to be potty training them or find the newspaper. They're in there forever. And like a little refreshing every now and again, hose it off, bam. No problem.
I feel like that's how like an old folks' home is run also. Just keep them in there. We'll just hose them off every once in a while and boom. Just missed them.
I worked at one of these establishments of which you speak. I don't know what the PC term, or I don't even know what they called it back then. But yeah, where a bunch of old people were essentially planted to die.
And a nursing home.
Well, it wasn't a nursing home. It was assisted living, they called it back in the day.
Right, assisted living. It still is assisted living.
Yeah, so it wasn't like I wasn't a nurse. I was just some jackass who got to see a bunch of old people naked because you have to have no special degree to bathe them.
Yeah.
You gotta be good with working a sponge.
I can't put, like, we're so weird. Like, I guess, whatever, because an adult can speak up for themselves. But, like, the fact that I, as I think I was like 20 at the time, 20-year-old dude, rolled around with these people in wheelchairs, men and women both, and they did not give one single shit. Like, it was, because there was this, big jacuzzi tub for all the people who, like, wanted a spa. They had fucking showers in their room. They didn't need me to witness them fucking naked is what I'm getting at.
They had human soup containers that they could just sit in.
Basically. Well, everybody had a shower. It was like they had a fucking apartment.
They didn't want to stand.
It was whatever. And it was that was the thing about it. Not to go off on a tangent about bathing the elderly. But that was the thing about it, is like, even the ones who are completely ambulatory would be like, hey, I need to take a bath in that thing later. And I was like, God damn it. The one place you have to go where I have to watch you. Like, you get, like, if I went into one of their apartments and was like, all right, I'm just here to make sure it's safe, they would fucking go ballistic. But turn that, flip that coin, and they're like, hey, guess what you're doing tonight? And I go, no! Awful time.
When I worked at this,
and then they just rip the robe off.
Right? And just pull the string out, and like it just falls.
Seriously, like so many. We had this, it's just a cavalcade. 3 or 4 dudes and 3 or 4 chicks every night I was scrubbing. Like, because of course you can't, like, if they're like, hey, can you reach, I'm old, like, I can't, with no credentials. I should have had to fucking take a class or something for that, or get paid more at least.
Well, yeah, back
Don't you
then.
need like a shot?
A shot?
I don't know.
No,
Like,
the elderly don't carry like rabies or anything like that.
Yes. But when I worked at the bowling alley, there was we didn't clean the bathroom at all. A night shift came in, restocked everything, cleaned everything.
Oh, okay.
Like it was a separate crew that didn't work for the bowling alley itself.
Okay, I get it.
And I was always like, the reason they gave me was because, you have to have certain shots if you're going to be working in a bathroom or something like that. And I still believe that to this day. I'm 36 now. I was told that when I was 16.
If you have open wounds and shit like that, I mean, but
then you wouldn't come to work if you're cleaning a restroom. I don't know. That just feels like, maybe since it's a highly public place, like not just a regular public place, like a restaurant bathroom, like a bowling alley will turn out some,
if they stick their hand somewhere and there's like open needles and shit, like
that's a lot of gallons per minute is what I'm getting at too. And like a lot of stuff moving through there and splashing onto the floor. So yeah, like the place is probably rife for hepatitis or
whatever.
whatever.
I have a poop story. I just realized.
You what?
I have a poop story from the bowling alley. I don't know if you want to hear it, but
What? Who are you talking to?
we just talked about cat shit. Like,
Yeah, lay it on me.
Well, no, now I just realized, what they told me is completely false because, we did never clean the bathrooms, but, so when they did call me and they're like, hey, we need you to grab a mop and a bucket.
Emergency,
and,
911.
Yeah, and head into the bar bathroom, which isn't even it wasn't a normal bathroom that has multiple stalls. This was just single urinal, single toilet, sink.
Okay.
That was it. And I'm just like, okay. And I walk in there and he's like, he apologized to me before and he's like, I am so sorry. Well, he said that with a laugh
He
too,
was
because
there?
he knew what I was about to do. No, sorry. Not the person.
Oh, the manager.
The bar manager.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And so I go in and to this day, I still don't know how this happened. In the corner where the tiles meet, about 3 feet up is just poop. From the floor all the way up, just wedged in. It's almost like they used it as like putty to fill in a hole.
Oh my God, it was like clay.
So here's what I immediately jumped to when you said that was like, obviously someone just pulled their pants down and pressed ham against the corner of the wall. But are you telling me by your description that it was like pushed in as if like caulking, like you could see thumb marks?
No, okay, so I
tool
didn't
marks?
see thumb marks, but it was like nowhere else except right in the corner, and it was just so evenly distributed. I'm like, how did this happen? I almost threw up probably about 20 times.
I have a working theory based on what you're telling me is if I were going to do what you were describing and try to pinch one solid log up a corner of a wall like I'm caulking a tub, what you would do is you would drop trow and let your cheeks touch the floor and basically do a blast off like a rocket. Right? And you go blast off, you go, hurrah! And you go, woo, fly away.
And then hop in your car and take off.
And then you go, RJ!
What? It was the bar manager. He's like, sorry, bro.
It would be funny if it was the bar manager that did it.
Right? All these years later, I still assume it was some customer.
I've got 2 shit stories, and I've told them both, but maybe you've not heard them. Both of them take place at the first job I ever had, which was a indoor children's amusement park that was, I don't know, pretty decently big. We had like 10 rides and shit. It wasn't bad. Like, I went there as a kid, and then working there made me hate it. But as a manager, I got to be a manager, walking around, checking all the stuff. And so I'm going into the bathroom, and in the normal stall, there is a man's sized pair of BVDs just full of shit. Like some kid's dad shit himself inside out, took off his underwear. He must have taken off his shoes too. He must have gotten completely undressed from the waist down and deposited it behind the toilet. It was crazy. Like, didn't even put it in the trash.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why wouldn't you put that in the trash? Because then someone could just take it out. You have to hide it as a treasure.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You come to expect certain things, and finding kids shitted inside out or whizzed on underwear in the bathroom is like a dime a dozen. But when you come to one that's essentially like it was like a pile of cotton. These are a man's pair of underwear, and like what the? And they just leave them like you're the adult. And then the second one was like. Somebody, I know this didn't happen because I would have heard the explosion, but in the same stall as before, it looked as if somebody had ladled out all the water, replaced that volume completely with diarrhea, and then another 50%, and then dropped an M80 in that motherfucker. The toilet was undamaged, but there was literally shit on the ceiling and then down through the walls.
What the hell?
Disgusting.
At a child's amusement park. Like, here's a quick bonus piss story. Before I was the manager, we had we had these stickers, right? So you'd stick one on the kid, and you'd many kids as there were, and you tear off the corresponding sticker with the corresponding number and give it to the parents and say, these better fucking match when you leave, or I've got to call the cops.
Right.
Because kids have got to come with the same people they leave with. And again, a lot of people didn't give a shit. But this one kid, like as my back was turned, talking to someone at the gift counter, because it was like right there, I turn around to see a kid just push out the door, walk, and I think he's going to walk straight into the parking lot. But he stops at that red line, drops trow to the ankle, pisses into the parking lot.
Nice.
I couldn't believe it.
They taught him well.
Like, I feel like one of the parents, I can't remember now specifically, it was the dad or the mom, but one of the parents came out and basically like stood behind them about 2 feet and gave me like a shoulder, what are you going to do? You know,
Better than peeing himself, I guess.
Like, kid was like 6 years old. Way beyond, oh my God. So, but also RJ, not to keep this running gag alive on a ventilator, but I came across a review of a movie called Polaroid. Are you familiar?
Ooh, I am not.
I haven't seen it either. I knew it existed. I knew that somebody made it and
Polaroid.
It was out there and I wasn't going to see it. But one of the people on YouTube I watched reviewed it, so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I'll be damned if everything that I and you and Krista and we all basically made up on the fly was that movie to a T. Like, I thought I was so fucking clever doing, like, bringing up the mirror thing. Like, if there's anything reflective, I was like, oh man, no one's ever thought of that. And that's how one of the people fucking dies in the movie.
Oh my God.
When was it made?
So you just ripped off that movie.
Apparently. It was like the 100th monkey syndrome, allegedly. But it's like, I don't know, 20 in the late 20 teens. Huh.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking this was going to be like a 90s movie.
No, like it was made super recent, and it's basically everything I talked about, save for one thing. The Polaroid that I was thinking of was the Easy Shot One Step that was popular from the 70s to the 90s, and you can still buy one today. In the movie, they use a precursor, but like after the land camera, it's a 70s model that's like nice and collapsible and has faux leather and shit. So they did it to the T. And
2019.
2019. And I'm
3 years
so
ago.
mad because obviously it's a stupid, like it's supposed to be a horror comedy. If you're going to be doing this, make it a horror comedy. They made it a straight horror movie.
Evil develops.
Oh, I thought you just came up with that, and I was like, that's really good.
No, it's
and then
it's one of the
taglines.
Yeah.
One thing that they okay, I think this is frosting on top of frosting, because when you have a cursed camera that you're basically stealing from Goosebumps like I did already, you don't need to take it this far. But in that movie, I'm to understand that the pictures are also essentially voodoo dolls of the person. So if you crush it, it'll crush the person. If you burn it, burns the person, etc.
Oh, that's interesting.
But like...
Going with the whole, like, it steals your soul.
Yeah, like, do one gimmick. Like, do your shitty gimmick where the photos are essentially voodoo dolls. Great. Don't steal the thing that I was doing that I am stealing from Goosebumps. Like, if you steal something, okay, whatever. Like, do it like I didn't steal it. But stay true to that. Don't then do the icing on top of icing of they're also voodoo dolls.
Well, and it looks like it's the same monster.
But yeah, basically.
So
it's a monster that comes and kills the person that you take a picture of. So they didn't even do a fucking good job. Like, that was the thing. You would take a picture and it would show them the future disaster. That was the fucking brilliance of it.
It's not a monster. It's the facts of what happened.
This is just like, click, in situ. That's what the picture looks like. And then as they stack up, we go, oh, whoa, they're all like, there's a weird boogeyman. The Bye-Bye Man's in the fucking background.
Don't say his name.
Wait, is that the Bye-Bye Man?
Yeah. And now you're cursed too.
No.
And so, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, the whole point of the cursed camera is it shows you the future and, like, the thing that'll get you. Why then relegate that to one fucking thing? A shadow man, essentially.
Right.
Like, if you're going to rip something off, do it like I did it. And that's why I'm so mad that they took my goddamn reflection genius. Because then it looks like stupid now. Like, the reflection thing, pure genius. I am not, like, blowing my own horn here. Like, that is a great way to forget and kill an antagonist.
I thought of that idea.
Did you?
Pretty sure.
Revisionist history, then. This is the Mandela effect.
It's the same thing about how we never had Big Salmon on the show before, so who knows if I was right or not.
Yeah, you're an unreliable narrator. So maybe I don't believe you.
Well,
Check
now
the
we
tape.
have to one-up it. We have to one-up it and do the gun Polaroid.
Okay, so like that. But here's the thing.
If we're gonna go cheesy, go all the way.
I know, but here's the thing, RJ. If we now discuss and bring it into being, like, if you want to believe that bullshit, which I now do, I've seen so many things that have happened coincidentally or whatever. It's just like everything must hit at the same time. So if we are going to genuinely talk about building a shotgun with a Polaroid around it and shooting something based on it, I guarantee we're going to see it in a theater under a year. And it won't be us making it.
Right.
You heard it here first.
But yeah, that would be satire when satire was good, right? Like, if we were going to do like a National Lampoons when they were still good, that's what you and I and everybody involved in this room should do. Like, someone give me $1 million and let me make a movie where I fool people into getting shot in the head with a shotgun because I put a camera body on it. It would be a fucking hilarious movie. We'd find a way to stretch it to 90 minutes because obviously that's...
Everybody else can figure out how to do it.
Premise weak. But yeah, like, and it'd be a comedy, so it'd be slapstick. So it basically would be like Top Secret.
Oh, yeah.
A very simple structure where I'm running around town taking people's pictures and the cops are chasing this mystery murderer.
Yeah.
I would actually want you to be the detective.
You want me to be the detective?
Just with a big trench coat, like smoking a cigarette, just be like, I don't know how he keeps doing it.
Okay. Probably, because I feel like if I'm gonna be cast as the detective, you need to be the killer then. Because you'll have that, I mean, you do have that. You'll obviously bring it to the role, but that, like, boyish innocence. So, when you're rolling up to people and, like, cocking a camera and then, like, blasting people in the head. And I say we go IRL, like, real practical effects. I don't want CGI if we're doing this.
We got to stock up on, like, the the spirit of Halloween, fake blood stuff.
Yeah, well, or we could go like indie, like Romero did in in Dawn of the Dead, when he filled that bust full of dog food and shit and then just shot it with a shotgun.
Gross.
Like, but that's the thing. And it is a fucking brilliant idea, too. If you handled it properly, someone killing people with a camera shotgun as the police are completely flummoxed could be gold. Or even if you wanted to take it serious, because I thought that, and you're not going to have seen this, but I think it's called Dead Silent or Dead Silence.
Wait, is that the one with the dummies?
Yes.
Yes, I have. Oh, God.
And one of the Wahlbergs is the detective. And so you've seen
which one, but yeah, I saw it. Like that came out in like when I was in high school, I think.
So give me your impression of it before I tell you what mine is.
I mean, all I remember. Oh, didn't they rip out tongue? Like, was that the thing? The woman would rip out your tongue.
Yeah. I mean, like, how did you enjoy it? Did you think it was good, bad? Where are we?
I mean, well, so like dummies and puppets freak me out a little bit, anyways. So I thought it was pretty scary. But I mean, that was also 15 years ago now, so I don't remember much of the details.
Yeah, I saw it on Netflix, and it was probably 10 years ago, but it, to my memory at least, was really good. Like it was played just straight enough. Like if they played it too campy, it would have been awful. Like if they tried to, like, how are you going to play in a part where it's a bunch of killer dolls that are controlled by the souls of these kids who are ripped out by this witch or whatever? And I could be making all this up, but it doesn't matter. Because what's his name? Wahlberg, one of the Wahlbergs, is so good in his role. And it's like played just straight enough. And like the threat is just real enough. And there's just enough levity that it's like, I can't believe that. I mean, I can't believe how poorly it was received because it's about dummies and people get freaked out. But it was good. I remember.
Yeah, even Goosebumps Night of the Living Dummy was like it didn't give me like nightmares and traumatize me, but I'm just like, this makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah, and they did a pretty good job of it too, because with a dummy like that, if you go and rewatch it now as an adult, which I occasionally do, it doesn't have any teeth. Like there's no threat. Like Slappy is the antagonist, obviously, but he never comes off. I mean, no real Goosebumps characters ever come off as real threats, I feel. But the fact that they made him like so talky and like borderline friendly, he always felt a little more like Q, if you get that reference.
Oh.
No.
Oh, God. It's a Star Trek thing.
Trek. He's like
He's more just like
the new ones?
No, he was in the Next Generation. Well, God damn it. Yeah, he's also in Picard, in the most recent season of Picard.
But he's not the same.
No, he's obviously old.
Well, I meant like the Chris Pine like movies.
No, I think no, because he comes in Next Generation, and the Chris Pine, he's playing Kirk, so that's way before.
Okay,
they meet at least.
We went off the rails with the doll thing. Okay, I don't know the name of the movie, but we watched a movie once, and there was like a house, like a cabin, and there were.
Was it in the woods?
Yes, there were dolls and stuff in it, like mannequins. Was the movie called Mannequin?
Okay, you're talking about a movie from the 70s, right?
I don't remember. All I can think of is they're in that house and there's a bunch of like dolls
and the killer chases them around with like a mannequin face.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 70s movie, and the name escapes me. I think it's called Tourist Trap.
That movie freaked me out whenever we watched it. I don't remember like why we even watched it.
Because it was like old. It's camp. It's it's 70s horror. It's like that's my jam. Like Piranha, the Roger Corman Piranha is like one of my favorite movies, unironically.
I'm assuming it came before Piranha 3D.
Oh yeah, this was the original. So Roger Corman made Piranha to rip off Jaws, which everybody was doing.
Yeah.
And so you need to watch Piranha. If you do nothing else, if you watch no other classic movie, you need to watch Piranha because the hero is so not a hero character. Like everyone is so stupid. It's the 70s and the fashion is incredible. It's maybe the perfect movie.
Tourist Trap, you're correct.
I knew it.
I would definitely watch Piranha over Tourist Trap because just the way Krista described it.
Tourist
Which
Trap
was barely.
Well, it's interesting too because like he runs a gift shop and the mannequins are never really explained. They're just there for the uncanny valleyness of it all, and so he can hide. But it's good. There's a lot of really interesting. I don't know. You'd have to watch it, but you're not gonna because of course
Because it's me.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like mannequins are like dummies on steroids.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Did you ever see
Well,
the
that's what I
movie
was gonna
Mannequin?
say. No.
That made a younger me pretty horny. It's got Kim Cattrall in it.
I did not see that going in that direction.
No, me either.
Hey, neither did I as a kid, man. But when, like, because I think it's what's his name?
My
Rags.
body's changing.
Something Ragsdale. But yeah, Kim Cattrall plays the mannequin, and it's so fucking insane. But it's one of those ones I watched because I found her so attractive, and she doesn't even like. There's no nudity in it or anything. I don't know why I got attached to it. Maybe she's in a swimsuit at one point. I haven't seen that movie in 20 years. But like Harry and the Hendersons, I've seen it a million times.
Oh my god. No, that's something I don't know about the movie, but I knew I watched the show.
There was a show. I feel like I'm having deja vu. Did you tell me there was a Harry and the Hendersons show already?
Probably.
We did the review with him, didn't we?
PJ, I
No.
thought.
Yeah, that was
Now
me.
you're confusing them.
Where am
Bizarro
I?
world. Well, whatever. Moral of the story is I forget where I was going with that. Polaroid the movie?
Polaroid.
Oh, no, we were
movie.
talking about Tourist Trap.
Dolls. Hey, have you
Dolls.
guys ever heard of a woman named Julianne Kopke?
No.
So I
Nope.
I'm totally going on a different tangent. I just discovered this woman today. She
Now woman. Now
Now-
today.
so back in 1971, she was on a plane to go to Peru. She was 17 years old. She just graduated high school. There was a plane crash, and she's the only one. She fell 10,000 feet in her strapped in her airplane chair, and fell into a jungle, and like only had a scratch and a broken collarbone, and she lived in the jungle for 11 days by herself. Like surviving, and she finally found these two dudes in a hut, and they took her to a hospital thinking that she was like a water witch or a water goddess or something, because they didn't speak the same language. And it's a crazy, like, falling 10,000 feet. Can you imagine falling 10,000 feet strapped to a chair and not like
Probably not.
I just assume I would be dead.
everybody else
Yeah.
was? Her mom died and all the other people died.
But there are people like that. You're just talking about a god of probability.
Yeah.
Like there are some people who just everything rolls off their back because there has to be people out there where everything just comes up heads when they say heads. And like obviously a collarbone fracture is not the best, but falling out of a plane and living in the jungle for 11 days and then coming across a tribe that didn't shrink your head and like spear you immediately for speaking a different language.
It's
and having
crazy.
Like, yeah.
And she got, her parents were like zoologists, I think. So she was going to she went to college for biology and zoology, but she's still alive now. And she there's I think there's a documentary or two on her. I think she's got a book like talking about all the crap that happened to her.
Oh yeah. I'm everybody who is one of these people, I'm sure writes a book, but there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Let me run this up your flagpole, RJ. Maybe you'll agree. But
Whoa.
yeah, like in the olden days, we didn't have very many people on Earth. So these gods of probability, as I'm calling them, there weren't very many of them to exist. But I feel like as the population grows, there are more people doing more things, and just by chance, that number and the percentage is going to rise. So I mean,
Well, and probably vocalizing it more now, and the fact that there's so much more ways to get.
Oh
right,
yeah, okay.
the internet.
Before, yeah, because like if we're talking before, let's say writing. That wasn't even available to everyone throughout history when it was discovered. So let's just say, everybody, 99% of the population who never had access to writing and couldn't write down the fact that they're like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. An alligator bit my arm and its jaw shattered into a million pieces. Because there's got to be a million people out there. Like, and we've also seen it in like nature documentaries too. The one that gets away from the lion or whatever, you think, whoa.
Well, there was somebody on my Facebook that got struck by lightning, and she posted the next day, "Hey, sorry I didn't do my live show. I got struck by lightning, and I'm still alive."
See, Here's the thing about getting struck by lightning. I feel like if it strikes near you, you could also feel it, but like people who get struck by lightning are severely fucked up because those bolts are hot. Like all that energy moving through your gooey suit.
You would have no hair.
Well, not necessarily, because it can go so fast that it won't necessarily burn hair, but it'll superheat your internals, like it'll cook you
right
at the whatever, because like that's whatever. For some reason, I just fell down a rabbit hole learning what it was like to get struck by lightning one day. And all the people who had been struck have these like, they're, however, depending on how big or how much they got struck, but the lightning, when it goes through you, it cooks at least a little bit of you right through.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you have all the internal burns.
Yeah, and it's wild. So that's the thing. And if it strikes really close, that's a sonic boom that'll knock you on your ass. So yeah, you're going to get up and say, oh my God, I was struck by lightning.
Yeah. Because you don't know, like, if you did it.
That's exactly how you would say it.
Oh my God.
I was struck by lightning.
Well, yeah, like as soon as you got up, like as soon as the, kaboom, and like let's say it's however many feet, enough to blast you on your ass and knock you down, shake you up a bit. Of course you come up and be like, oh my God, that was lightning that struck me.
I got to tell somebody.
I'm going to call my mom or write it on a piece of paper. I know how to write. Give me a clay tablet, they'll say.
I got to put this on TikTok.
Yeah, I would love to read a bunch of stories about that if we want to talk about gods of probability, because George Washington was one. Wyatt Earp was probably another.
That's going to be something we could do. Write something up and then read it.
But like, I don't know. But then you got the other side of that coin too, where like the people who are super good at killing, like the white, what's his nuts from World War II? Everybody talks about that sniper. I feel like when you're in high school, all you do is talk about World War II. The memes are correct.
I have no idea about history. So.
Yeah. Well, you're a girl. I
still took history class.
But they didn't talk about the sniper who got the most confirmed kills in World War II in history class. That was something like you would pull to impress other high school dudes. You knew about World War II for some reason. Did you do that, RJ?
Nah, I could care less about wars and this.
Oh, but I'm like, it has to hit in it's not World War II. It has to hit in high school. Like everybody in high school, the dudes that I hung around with at least knew some. We could always trade World War II facts.
You were nerds.
I was a small school too. But that's the thing. Then I grow up and I see these memes from these like kids living today as kids, and it's still happening. I'm not crazy.
No, but there are new nerds, so.
Yeah.
I know the guys in my high school did not talk about that shit. Maybe if there were this
you wouldn't talk about it to girls, though. That's the thing.
No.
Like, a girl would never hear a guy drop a World War II fact. And that's why. Because it was just for your dude bros.
Do you secretly reenact when no one's looking?
What do you mean?
Get all dressed
World War
up
II.
and reenact
Yeah,
World War II?
No, you would just trade facts. Like,
That's like historical LARPing.
Yeah, like when I was in junior high and high school, and me and my friends would like pontificate about what girls talked about. When we weren't doing that, we were talking about World War II, basically, or the PlayStation.
My God.
No, it wasn't that bad, but it was something. It came up. I'm telling you, it's true.
And see, here's the problem. I didn't hang out with guys in school. I mainly had girlfriends.
Gerbils.
Gerbils.
You were that guy with like cargo pockets all over the place with gerbils in every one of them, right? Ugh. I knew that kid too.
Gabriel and Rick and Henry.
Oh my God. How debilitating was that hobby for that child?
Guinea pig collecting?
No, gerbils. It was gerbils.
Oh, gerbils. Sorry.
They're so little.
Gerbils.
What's the difference?
Okay,
They're
so
small.
here's the thing. To me, and because of the people I associated with them, gerbils are like white trash rodents. So here's the thing. You have mice, which are like typically feeders unless you get the fancy ones. And then you've got some airs to put on. And then you've got rats, feeders, and the upper crust, but they're basically the same animal. So save yourself $8 and save a life by getting a feeder if you're going to get a rat. And then there's hamsters. So they have so we have mice, cute little tails, rats, big fat like worm tails, very distinctive. Hamsters, no tails, nice and fluffy. And then you've got gerbils, which are like these disgusting, like they have bounce on their back feet, so they're kind of like kangaroo rats at times, and they've got these disgusting little paws, and they're like this shit brown, and their tails are long, and like they remind me of a mullet. I fucking hate gerbils.
If a mullet was an animal, it would be a gerbil.
They're like disgusting low rent kangaroos. Like they have kangaroos. If we're gonna make a pyramid here, it's kangaroos on top, the kangaroo rat, right? And then in the tomb, deep underground, is the fucking gerbil. I hate them.
Does it have a tail like a possum where it can like
No,
wrap it? Oh,
it's not semi-prehensile or anything. It's just this long, disgusting, shaggy mullet of a thing, and it's kind of bulbous on the end, if I'm remembering right. And that's why it also kind of reminds me of a rat tail on a human.
yeah.
So all of these things just came together to be like, ugh, that's what, yuck, gross. I hate those things. Hamsters were cool. Mice and rats, fine. Gerbils, they're dead to me.
They all just get stuck behind the radiator.
What?
That's how all my friends, like hamsters or gerbils or whatever rodent they had, they would all get loose, and then they either just couldn't find it or someone found it behind a radiator or something.
Yeah, we never had. That's so funny. Radiators are a very East Coast thing. I've never seen a radiator.
Well, I can't
in my
imagine
life.
you'd have one out here.
No, I mean, I've seen them in cartoons, so I get the reference.
They get really hot.
Yeah, they're radiating heat, if you will, and that's why the animals go toward them, because they're like, oh, it's nice and warm, but they they don't realize that it's just radiating to cook their asses inside out.
Yeah.
It's almost like they got struck by lightning.
Not really, because it's pretty slow.
Not at all.
Not at all. No. And it's just happening from the outside in, and there's 11 herbs and spices.
We had a naked rat as a pet. Phoebe.
Yeah. They're fine.
I want something with my partner wants a hairless cat.
The Sphinx.
Yeah.
Those are so expensive.
I don't find the appeal.
I don't either. Like, they are selling like fucking hotcakes, and they're $1 billion a piece, and all for what? So you can buy a sweater because you purposefully gave your cat zero hair?
Well, because they're hypoallergenic, so if you're allergic to cats, you wouldn't be with them, and they're cool.
But here's also the thing. There's no more hair buffer on the rear. So everything happening back there is on display. Yeah. And these things are already disgusting from the front. And so imagine like whatever buffer that the cat's fur gave whatever its asshole would rest upon is now gone. That thing is bare, pressed up against it like a fucking Nerf suction cup.
Lipstick everywhere.
Yeah. And then
but less shit germs all over its fur because it don't have any.
Going through lipstick all over the place.
I like them. I think they're cool looking.
I mean, less germs.
Matthew
It's not
Blades
like they're
has
going to
one.
stop poking at it with their hands. And then, no, I don't like cats. Like,
They got this loose, wrinkly skin.
Yeah, they're like the dog version of like what a Shar or the cat version of a Shar-Pei, all wrinkly.
Ugh, it's like petting an old person's arm. Ugh.
And Dave would know about that.
Yeah, I would know. I'd have to pet a country mile of him and make him go to sleep. Tell them a bedtime story about how we are just about to win World War II, which I know a lot about, being recently out of high school.
Right.
And all that hadn't withered away at this point.
I know we'll never get a cat. It's fine.
Yeah. I fell in love with one cat once.
And it broke my heart. Never again.
Well, I've told this story too, so I'm not going to get into it. But I worked at a pet store, little baby cat. The owner was like, "Oh, I got rid of it." Moral of the story is I'm sad about it, and even if I wasn't, that's once in a lightning in a bottle. Gonzo. No more cats.
I just don't want pets because I get too attached. And I care too much, and then I'm always worried about them.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
do
just
seem
stressed
like
out all the time.
You do seem like you stress out a lot.
Oh yeah, all the time.
What's up with that?
Maybe it's an East Coast thing.
Yeah,
I don't think it's an East Coast thing.
mainly because we have radiators.
Right. Always stressed about getting burned by
Oh,
a
do they
radiator.
radiate stress?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, government.
When these dogs, I'm scared that
Government.
these dogs are just gonna die like in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but obviously everything's gonna die. Like if pets are meant for mischief. Like TikTok and YouTube are nothing but people documenting having smaller animals than them destroy things that they previously loved. And then they laugh about it. Like they're nothing but destruction and death in their wake. Like you should look forward to that. Because if you don't if you're not looking forward to the next time you come home and like your favorite book is destroyed, what's the point, right?
Well,
Just garbage is everywhere.
like when I first met David, these dogs were only like a year and a half, and now they're pushing 12 or 13.
Yeah, everything, entropy. It's just that the stuff that hangs on the walls will last longer than them. So you don't have to worry about it
You
as
can
much.
stuff them.
Yeah, we can always get taxidermy, put them up on the mantle. Or,
A little speech bubble with like a dry erase board, so you can have them say different messages to you.
that might go well with my alternate idea. Just do like the mounting of the head like you do with a deer. Boom, as an Anthony Ruby right up there, and then we can put the speech bubbles next to those things. I'll make them jackalopes, and we'll put antlers on them and stuff.
You make it like that singing bass. You put something in their jaw that moves their
Just
mouth
the
up
tail
and down.
wagging.
Yeah, or maybe I'll go like full Brotherhood of the Wolf, which you haven't seen, so I'll explain.
No.
In that movie, it's based on true events. It's the Beast of Gendon. I don't know. It's the Beast of some French place, and it actually happened, allegedly. But in the movie, this mega wolf they suspect is killing all these people. And so they get these two martial arts French dudes to come and hunt it. And it's a long story that yada, yada, yada. They catch a big wolf. They go, "There's no way this is it." He goes, "Fucking stuff the thing and make it look like it should." And so he takes this regular big wolf and stuffs it to like 5 times as big as it should be and paints it black and red. And they go, the beast of whatever. And they're like, "Yeah, I made it." Like, what?
I made it.
Yeah, because in the end, here's the thing. You're not going to see it, so I'm going to spoil it. It's a lion and a dude with a bone sword.
What?
So wait, are they together? Like this guy and the lion are working together, or just
Basically.
two separate things killing? Okay.
So they think it's a wolf. Long story short, it's a lion that they dyed the mane of with henna to make it red. And so they basically just let it out to kill a bunch of people every once in a while and then put it back in the cage. And then there's a guy who has one arm and he's like, "Oh," and he's very witty. And at the end, he takes his fucking bodice off and he's got 2 arms. It's just one scarred up. And he let the nails grow on it super long. And then he's got, you remember, you've played Soul Calibur, right?
Yes.
Okay, you know Ivy's sword that can like whip out? It's like a chain sword that can whip in and
Yep.
out?
Yeah.
Same fucking thing, except it's like all bone.
Weird.
It's pretty radical. Here's another little tidbit. Are you aware of, at least, Iron Chef America?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the protagonists in Brotherhood of the Wolf, there's a blonde dude and then an Asian-looking dude who is like the martial artist extraordinaire guy. That is the fucking chairman from Iron Chef America.
Seriously?
Yes.
Huh.
We can watch that movie tonight and I can show it to you.
Wait, is that the guy who like introduces the food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he does that flip, he's a martial artist, like for real. In Brotherhood of the Wolf, he does some insane stunt work. And now he's on Iron Chef America.
Good for that guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Alton Brand was in that movie too, kicking ass. No, he wasn't.
Bobby Flay was there.
Bobby Flay and
He was the Bonesaw guy.
fucking what's his name? Guy Fieri was throwing nunchucks shaped like pizzas.
Is he an Iron Chef?
No, he's just from Food Network.
Not
I'm
at all.
just dropping people. Aaron Sanchez was there.
I like him. Scott.
Pilgrim.
Hey, that's a good movie. Let's talk about Scott Pilgrim.
No, let's talk about
RJ.
Food Network. I get back into Food Network. I lost, terrestrial TV is long gone to me, but
Yeah, let's watch more food shit, man.
Food Network had the right. Did you watch Food Network, RJ?
If like I would catch it, going by and stop and watch it.
Walk-
Kid
by
shit
and
going by.
get to
Like, what are
see
you
some Emerald?
walking in a mall and it's on a TV in Sears? That's a great reference,
No,
right?
but, like, flipping through the channels, I would catch it on and then I'll watch some. An
There-
Iron Chef or something.
I think secretly, I feel like the Food Network is like low key comedy, like avant garde ish. Like, because the fact that these people are so smug and so self satisfied and like are world renowned and rich simply because they can take things that are edible and make them insanely edible.
Yeah.
And
I've
like,
made this more edible than it was.
yeah, like, oh my God, it's the best, blah, blah, blah. They, raving and everybody's just blowing loads at every plate. And that exists in a world where today hundreds of people are going to die from starvation.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that these stuffy people like wafting steam toward their face, I always think, and this would never happen, but I always think, wouldn't it be hilarious if like that 60 cents a day could feed a starving African child would play in the middle of Chopped?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just like these smug assholes with their hipster glasses and their tattoos and their beards like me. And they go, oh, it was this salmon foam? You gastronomy, what the fuck? And then you see the dude, again with the beard, but he's old, and he goes, look at this starving child, you worthless fuck. Help me! 60 cents a day. We cut back, and he's like, oh, avocado, what the fuck? We live in a crazy world, RJ.
We do. We should have... See, there needs to be a show where they try to take that 60 cents and make delicious meals
Yeah!
with the product that they buy.
Oh.
They got to take the dried milk and whatever else, the Nature Valley bar that they put in
Oh,
there.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Like, if Chopped... Okay, here's the thing. Maybe this will happen, too, since everything I say around you happens. Maybe for at least one episode a season, Chopped does that shit. Like, for one episode, they go, the entire budget of producing one episode, which is probably upwards of $1 to $5 million.
Yeah.
They say, we're going to donate that to, like, some place that'll actually feed hungry people instead of three
UNICEF or
smug
whatever.
assholes.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've got to take 60 cents and, whatever, a handful of food stamps, vouchers or whatever, and like do basically a supermarket sweep and then impress the judges. I would watch. I would obviously watch it now because, again, it's so fun. The stakes are so low in a world where like suffering is real. The fact that these people are like sweating into dishes that people are then going to have to eat, and the stakes. I fucking love the stakes, both literally and metaphorically.
Hey, I was just going to say something.
I know.
You
I had
beat me
to.
to it.
I had to get it before you did.
But I think that would be a really good idea. Like, even to go a step above that and be like budget meals. Like even for...
Oh, well, this is blue sky. Like, if the Food Network is not ever going to go any further than like what Rachel Ray does in terms of charity.
Yeah.
Like, Chopped will give $10,000 to charity, no problem, because that's 1% of their production budget for the day.
Yeah.
Like, when you realize that when those panicked chefs are running back to those fridges and you see the tens of thousands of dollars of ingredients that these people are just thumbing through like old vinyl albums at a record store. They're like, oh, shiitake mushroom, and like, oh, caviar that's fucking $10,000. Whoops! You know, like truffles. And that's the thing too. It's the reason why people watch Lamborghinis race around.
Well, and just all the equipment in that show has to be ridiculously expensive too.
Yeah, oh, totally.
The times 4, like everybody gets the same shit, and
that's the thing. It's pomp and circumstance for itself. Like I can appreciate something that has substance, and I can appreciate something that has no substance. But I cannot abide by is the things that have no substance that pretend otherwise. And Chop doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't pretend to be anything other than smug idiots making food for other more smug idiots who get to eat the food that the other smug people get. Like,
and judge it.
Yeah. It's basically suck your own dick for 40 minutes.
I do like the one thing that they don't have 4 of is the ice cream machine. Or like that fast freezer. The thing that like freezes things like instantly on that tabletop thing. But like people are always trying to fight over that damn ice cream machine, and you gotta wait for 7.5 minutes for the other person, and if they don't get it in time, then their dessert is fucked.
And that's the thing too, is what does that even mean?
Nothing.
What does that even mean?
It's
like
ice cream that I can't taste.
It's like crazy. We live in such a crazy time, and that's why I love Chopped, because it's everything out to 11, everything cranked up to 11. It's like the hottest young chefs and the shiniest new equipment and this and that. Like, oh my God, it's nothing but gleam. And I am still willing to identify with my lizard brain that shiny objects are really interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And what are besides, there's usually, I'm assuming, a cash prize for these things.
Yeah, it's like $5,000 or $10,000.
Yeah, I think it's basic AFV rules. They set the gold standard. 10,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're kind of saying, like it makes it seem like it's almost like life or death, the way they're freaking out, throwing tantrums, all this stuff, and then you never hear from these people again.
Yeah.
It's not like this sets you for life.
Yeah, and I'm sure in that culture there probably is a huge network, just like with stand-up comedians or actors or whatever. So I'm sure it is huge in their circles. But like 99% of its audience is like slack-jawed yokels like me who get to basically sit there and listen to someone read off their resume and why they're going to win.
But it's interesting at the same time, because if there's people out there in the audience that are like foodies or whatever, like, and if they find this chef that is local,
well, no,
and
I get why they do it. I'm not taking issue with it. Yeah. I'm just saying maybe instead of having, here's what it comes off as: sucking your own dick, especially how they shoot it, because everybody's got their arms crossed and looking harsh over their shoulders.
Yeah.
The camera's spinning.
Oh,
and
shoot it with the camera. Got it. Yeah, never mind.
Give me a look with some attitude. Dead.
Dead. But yeah, they shoot them like they're arch nemesis and villains, and it just comes off as like, at best competitive, and at worst, like, oh, fuck you, I'm awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, so if you're going to shoot it aggressively, have a narrator run over their CV. That's what I'm getting at.
No, yeah.
Do you think they do reshoots of certain things? Or is it really, do you think it's just all, it is what it is? That
show is not tied to reality in any way, shape, or form. So what we are being delivered is even artifice in itself. The narratives are completely fabricated because like there's no way that these professionals are this incompetent, I guess. Like, I realize it's a high pressure situation. You've only got 20 minutes, but like, you work in a 5-star restaurant where you're cranking out different dishes by the minute.
Yeah, but they also have a team of like 12 people in the room.
I know, but like,
or in the kitchen.
Then here's the thing. Show that. Like, when we get to the B-roll of these goddamn chefs, it's always just them and maybe one sous chef, like doing something in the background, like grinding some pepper over something, as like our chef du jour is like chopping a pepper up with the fucking speed of the Flash. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all fake. I don't believe any of it. If that answers your question.
No, it's just
That's
fun
like
to
when
watch.
I found out Pimp My Ride was not real at all.
Oh,
or like
no.
or Cribs. Just like I
Right.
grew up watching those shows and like, wow, these people like live these lavish lifestyles. These cars are so crazy. Then you find out like half the cars they made on Pimp Your Ride, they actually had to take the stuff off like after the show ended because it's not
Yeah.
even street legal.
No, yeah, they like fucking destroy people's property. But that's the thing. There's no such thing as reality in reality television. You're just watching something where people swear more, people act a little more surprised of the acting. I think reality TV was invented for bad actors.
Yeah.
Because you say, well, I can't get anything that you have to be talented for. But anybody can be a reality TV, and I would consider them actors because I don't think anything that anybody does on the Jersey Shore was necessarily genuine.
Oh my God, do you remember Big Brother?
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Big Brother and
Survivor.
the real world. Survivor. Oh, we used to watch Survivor every Sunday or whatever day it came out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If there's a camera or a microphone around and you are constantly aware of it, nothing about what you're seeing is real.
Yeah.
But at least Chop doesn't go and do the Survivor thing. That's what turned me off of Survivor, is like playing up the reality of this fantasy.
Well, yeah. Yeah. No, this is just 45 minutes of cooking,
Yeah. And that's why I love it, because
which probably takes a full 8-hour day or 10-hour day to make 3 meals.
100%. Like, not to go behind the curtain, but I read an article about a shooting schedule of Chopped that Google recommended me once. And it is up to a 16-hour day.
I'm sure.
'Cause, like,
they got to clean all the shit up afterward.
Yeah, because that's the thing you forget about. Like, they're going fucking ape shit with the whisks and stuff, and they're throwing flour and shit. And then your mind just wipes away the fact that their station is clean as fuck like,
Immediately.
3 seconds later.
Right.
So, yeah. They got to clean the ovens, like if something boils over.
Yeah. They got to clean that ice cream machine
I'm sure one of these people, like RJ, like one of your teams where they have to get special shots, probably just whoosh, wipes through there like like the scrubbing bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fuck. And that's the thing. The things you don't think about. That's what I'm saying. It's probably $5 million a goddamn episode because, like, the cleaning crew alone.
Yeah.
Woof. Crazy. And then you got Pimp My Ride, and then, oh, unbelievable. I don't know. But that's the thing. If you like to be spoon-fed something that isn't real, but be told it's real, that's what Survivor and all that is. But thank God the Food Network doesn't necessarily do that.
Yeah. I do appreciate Iron Chef because they always have at least one other person cooking with them. It's usually like 2 or 3 other people. But
yeah, I mean, that's kind of in a different ballgame because they're in front of a studio audience. And so it's harder to fuck with the... I mean, they can fuck with the perception of time, obviously, because they're, again, probably there for 8 hours.
Well, they're
But-
also making 4 meals at once, I think, too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there's a little more credibility because you see asses in seats.
Right.
Like with Chopped, it's 3 people allegedly sitting at the judges' table the whole time, while 4, 3, 2, and then 1, stand there and accept various awards.
I feel like it would be more awkward and like stressful to have less people there. Like if 3 judges versus like just having an audience in your cooking, because you can kind of like block out the fact that there's 100 people there, it like far away, but having 3 judges and then Ted or whatever like staring at you.
But that's the whole point of it. Is like they're ramping up the pressure. It's classic interrogation techniques. And in the food stadium with the food commodore or whatever his fucking name is, and Alton Brown presiding over the 3 judges that change all the time. Like that's arena football. Like that's a big display. Like there's, oh, you got to get this. Okay, man, get those scallops and shit. Like, yeah, that's a sport that you're watching. Chopped is like a police interrogation. You're in a tight room. It's set up so you can't escape easily.
Right.
Like, they're there to really crank up that you're right next to your neighbor, like you're elbow to elbow. Like instead of putting 4 kitchens like in a quad
off.
formation. Yeah, they put them all in a line to make you have to run past your fucking neighbor and possibly scald them and shit.
And you can't go in front of them because the cameras are there.
Yeah, so you amp up all this fake shit by forcing him through these mazes and putting him in tight quarters. Then
Then they're asking you questions while you're trying to cook.
Yeah.
Oh, and then fucking, I love Ted. At least he like tries sometimes. Most of these cooking shows have dudes who walk around and go like, so what's happening over here? At least Ted will sometimes go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
He'll go, so what is your connection to this dish? Or whatever. Like, what that Netflix show?
Oh, the
100 Tables?
100 Worlds, something or other.
Whatever.
I don't know.
That guy was a fucking charisma vacuum. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I've complained about him before. So I'm not going to get into it deep again. But holy shit. Like, there's something to be said for a charismatic host and a competent host. I can't point to a charismatic host right now, but like say a competent host would be like a Ryan Seacrest, or back in the day, like a Dick, whatever his name, Dick Clark. Because they can, or Tom Bergeron's another competent host.
He's a good one, yeah.
Not a charismatic host, not a talented, he's not a...
He's more like a dry humor host.
He's oil for the gears of the show.
Yeah.
And,
But Ted was good. Ted's good on Chopped.
Ted is enough that he doesn't feel like a robot. Mm-hmm. Like when dude walks up, he's like, beep, boop, what's that, papaya? See ya. Beow.
I see you have pineapple there. We'll see you later.
Yeah, and then like these poor contestants desperately trying to give their life story because there was no talking head segments.
Oh, in the Netflix one, yeah, no.
Yeah, in the Netflix one, there's no talking head segments. So in that, building of the framework where Chop does, where like they're sitting down, not sweating, not trying to shit them, not trying to not shit themselves. It's like the dude walks up and throws out a generic question, and the contestant has to take it like, okay, now it's time to launch into my backstory. He's like, well, I'm from Cuba, and I did come over here. And the guy's like, oh, that's really interesting. Bye.
Yeah, see you later. I have 14 other people to go bother.
I don't know, man. TV.
Food Network.
But they have it down to a science. Anybody who tries to copy them, and anybody who tries to copy our shotgun camera idea, I'm coming after you legally.
Or the 60-cent food preparing idea.
Oh, yeah. Food Network. Well, you can have that one. That was for charity. But my fucking camera shotgun idea that RJ can arguably make a claim to as well. As of this date, 5:15, that's when we're recording this. If there's not because I'm not going to do a Polaroid again, because if I made this statement about my killer camera, I would have had to eat my words. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But if there's a shotgun camera movie out there right now, all is void. But if anything happens after this, I'm suing you. It's my intellectual property. That includes you, RJ, if you cut me out of the deal.
Perfect. I have a freaking schematics in my head of what this is going to look like, and I just want to buy all the EVA foam and just make this tomorrow.
Yeah, it is kind of coming to me too, and I sort of low key and just might put it in the other show I do that is video. But we'll see how that goes. I might buy a head and fill it full of dog food. Blow my co-host away. Nah, that'd be too labor intensive.
Yeah.
Plus, he actually used a real shotgun. I don't know how to explode a head without a real gun.
I'll put a little M80 in it. You'll be fine.
Fireworks are illegal here, though. I mean, sparklers and stuff. We can't own
same
things
here, actually.
Okay, yeah. Like in New Mexico and somewhere else, you can buy the explodey type, but we can't have anything that flies or bangs.
Even though people get them anyway.
In Connecticut, you can't have anything where the flame goes over 6 feet. So
6
even
feet?
So even sparklers can't go that high if they sit on the ground.
You could raise them above your head?
No, but like if you have something that shoots out sparkles or something that can't go over 6 feet. So if you put it on the ground, so we just walk around. Everyone gets the other stuff anyways, because I think Massachusetts you can get it.
I feel like every state that has firework laws is touching a state that doesn't. And you always have a cousin or a neighbor or somebody who can get you illegal shit.
Going over the border to get some fireworks.
Yep. And some beer. I'll be back.
And some beer. We got that down at the corner store.
We used to go to right into New York to get beer.
Wow.
Oh, God. I don't remember why. Because I think the person that used to go wasn't 21 and they didn't
Because
card
it's like
or something.
New York pizza, the New York
Wait,
beer
no,
is so much better.
because they were
You
open on
guys drove
Sundays.
out of state just to find someone who didn't card.
No, because they were open on Sundays. Because Connecticut doesn't sell alcohol on Sundays.
And we needed to get plastered in honor of the Lord.
Yeah. For whatever reason, whenever we had a party, if it was a Sunday or we were all together or whatever,
You
somebody
guys
would
couldn't
go.
plan ahead.
People that I hung out with in college did not plan ahead. I likes to plan ahead, but everybody didn't do that.
Yeah, everybody who I knew was a heavy drinker was not very good with plans.
No, that's why they have drive-through liquor stores here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous. When I first moved here, I was like, "What is this?" And I had met David or wherever we were going somewhere, and I'm like, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's a drive-through liquor store." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" You can't go inside.
Like the implications of a drive-through liquor store are stark because like I just assume, and maybe this is crazy, but I just assume that most people going to buy booze, it's on the occasion for a party or you're going there to buy the same thing you get every fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, just make like I get that you're coming like because I worked with a dude who drank a 24-pack of Bud every night. No hyperbole. He would go from the job site to the 7-Eleven, boom, pound that baby when he got home.
Wow.
And so the drive-thru was just like, well, I guess whatever, you know what you want, make it easy on yourself. But it just...
Yes.
Do they have like combo meals? You can
No,
just be like,
that-
oh, can I get a number 7?
That's just it. It's like the skeeziest looking shit, too, because like... fast food menu, like that's nice and colorful and all the colorful shit that happens around fast food establishments. This is like a dingy, dirty, wooden, often like hand painted, like sliding window in like a rickety old building.
Yeah, there's like one like Bud Light like a picture, like a banner or whatever.
You know that classic cartoon situation where like the path splits and off to the right is like the beautiful forest and off to the left is like dead trees and vultures and lightning. Like that's what the fucking like a Burger King drive-thru is the butterflies and shit. And like a liquor store drive-thru, if you ever get to experience it, would be like driving through that dead forest. Mm-hmm. Someone is going to die in your party. And if it's just
Not
you,
everyone
getting
is
dysentery.
making it out in the van.
no, yeah, somebody is getting shivved. It is going to go bad for somebody. And even if like nobody moves and everything goes as planned, as soon as you get out, boom, somebody's got gonorrhea. It's the silent killer.
Where did this needle come from?
Yeah, like if you imagine this, like a nice, like I don't know when they stopped making the Town and Country, but like a gold-colored Chrysler Town and Country, late model, all the fixins, leather, DVD, the works. Like if one of those were to pull through a drive-through liquor store, it would come out a fucking Plymouth. Oh God, what was their shit? Plymouth Voyager in like eggplant purple that's like sun-beaten and like all the covering of the headrests are gone and it's just like this decaying foam and everybody inside now has like hideous lesions and they're all like leprous.
There's holes in the floor.
Yeah, it's like the classic spoon going into the poison drink and it comes out all melted.
Yeah.
God damn.
Drive-through liquor
Under-
stores.
Under every town and country, there's a Voyager.
Was it a Plymouth Voyager? That's got to be it. Because it was
sounds
Dodge
familiar.
Caravan. Yeah, it's got to be the Plymouth Voyager. That's what RJ. Did you love the 90s? Yeah, you did.
Did you
I
watch I
have a
Love
feeling
the 90s?
there's. I did, yeah.
So, do you remember that time in the 90s and it even persisted into the 2000s when Plymouth, Dodge, and Chrysler, after they all got, or they were all bought for, Chrysler came along later, but whatever. But Dodge and Plymouth would release the same car and just not even change the name sometimes. Like the Plymouth Neon was the Dodge Neon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
The Caravan and the Voyager, same fucking thing. Like
My parents had a Plymouth Acclaim, and that's that was kind of like my first car that I inherited when I became of age and got my permit or whatever.
That's
and
crazy.
Then then afterwards, the first car that they bought, I think it was like $500, was a Dodge Spirit, which was the exact same car, just the Dodge version.
Isn't that okay? And that's the thing. Every car company does that because like Lincoln is the luxury of Ford and Cadillac is the luxury of GM and yada yada yada, all the downline, and in the imports too. They'll at least like change the front. They'll add a fin. They'll do the headlights different. The taillights a little different. No, Dodge and fucking Plymouth were just like, you know what?
Carbon
Fuck
copy.
It. Like I feel like there was one factory and it was just one dude at the end of every production line who, with every car, when they would roll off the line, you either reach into a box and pull out a Plymouth logo or a fucking Dodge one, pop it into place with a hammer and give it the old thumbs up. Mm-hmm. It was wild.
All right, we're good to go.
And it was like, Noah, which one was the luxury brand? Like they were both economy brands.
Yeah.
So it made Plymouth look like real shitty. Because Dodge obviously survived, and Plymouth they acquired, and it was like,
meh.
The fuck?
My first car was a Beetle. 98 Volkswagen Beetle.
How many cars have you owned, RJ?
1, 2, 3. I'm on my 5th.
Whew, lightweight. Okay.
Yeah. I drive them until they die.
I've had 4. This is the Escape is my 4th car.
Whoa. Because I had a Beetle.
You had a lot of cars.
I had a Chevy Celebrity, a Jeep Cherokee, a Chevy Lumina, a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota Camry, a Ford Focus, a Honda Element,
And now this one.
and the Corolla, back to the Corolla. And was there anyone I'm missing?
Probably. Didn't you have a Buick?
Oh, I borrowed the Buick.
Oh.
Yeah, so whatever. A lot of cars.
Dozen cars. I've had a Beetle. The Beetle was my first car. Then the Passat we brought to Arizona. That was my second car ever. And then I got a Ford Focus after the thing blew. But the Passat was like done. And then now we have this car. My Escape.
Yeah, that is wild.
The Dodge Spirit is still one of my favorite cars, just because one of the windows didn't roll down. There was something up with the stereo. You had to do something special. Like the only thing, I couldn't get the radio. I think I had my Sony Walkman or whatever, or
plugged in.
CD Discman.
Yeah, the Discman, because you had that fake cassette tape that you would put in.
Yep,
Right.
I had one of those.
Well, yeah, because
Had that.
I guarantee everybody's shittiest cars is their favorite.
Oh yeah, but mine would stall all the time. So no matter what, I always had to give it gas. So even if I was at a stop sign or a red light, I had to give it just a little bit of gas to keep it running. Because if I let go of the gas, it stalls. That's how I just drove forever.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'd be on the highway, and something would happen. And I'll just hear do 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 do. My car it'll still coast. So whatever speed I was going, it'll still go. And I got so good at it, I would just like throw it into neutral, restart it, and throw it back into drive while still going. It was great. I screwed up one time, and like we were just taking off. Like Route 1, Boston Post Road is like the main strip in Milford, Connecticut, and I just took off from a red light, and it stalled like right in the intersection, and I was so used to just throwing it into neutral, but I went too far and I threw it right into park. And so dead stop, and I was like, oh god.
That's a busy road.
Yeah, this is hitting me hardcore in the memories because my Chevy Celebrity had so many fucking problems. It had the tape deck, like you're mentioning, big chrome, quote unquote, knobs, wooden dash, and all that shit. So my AC stopped like 6 months into me owning it.
Nice.
And so everywhere I went with the windows rolled down. And then something went wrong with the engine, and instead of pumping gas into the engine, it was pumping it onto the outside. So it's constantly getting fed these fumes, and it was always dying too. So one time, and here's a great story. You did yours with in an intersection. I picked up my girlfriend's mom at the time, and she was riding in the front seat. And so if I kept the AC on at this point in time, it would kill the engine when we weren't driving. So I would have to turn off the AC right before we stopped. Otherwise, it would kill it. So one time she's oh God, I hated her. She was a real bitch. She's sitting next to me and distracting me, yelling at my girlfriend who was in the back seat. And I forgot to hit the AC, and I go, oh my God, I killed it. So I did like you did. Instead of popping into neutral, I slammed it into park, and she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which I had asked for her earlier to do. And she hit that vinyl dashboard, man. And I go, oh God.
Should have worn a seatbelt.
Yeah. I was like, whoops. Wasn't going to say sorry to her, though. I said, oh God. I said, whoops. And I said, hey, you know what?
Safety first.
Safety
See, I
first.
find that weird. Like, well, I mean, I don't know what kind of relationship you had with the mother, but I feel like I would have the girlfriend up front and the mother in the back.
Yeah, I would have liked that. But the mom was a total coos, and that's just the way it was.
Just what you had to deal with.
Yeah. And she's like, get in the back. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
That always was like that, though. If I had a boyfriend drive and for whatever reason the mom was there or a parent was there, I was in the back seat. It was like they're
So
older.
weird.
That is weird.
It's an elder thing. The elders sit up in the front.
Eh,
Regardless of who I am or who whatever significant other.
I don't know. It's weird. I wouldn't, like, if Elliot, when he grows up and gets a girlfriend, I'm going to catch a ride with him somewhere for some reason, I wouldn't insist on sitting
No,
next to his girlfriend.
I would never do that. I guess times are different now. But back when I was young, or like 10, 15 years ago, yeah.
I don't know about that. That's just maybe lightning in a bottle for some people, because like I don't think that was even a thing when I was whatever. It's pontification. Tell you what, RJ, we've been going for quite a while now. I've asked staff recommendations, so good news. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Hell yeah. I was going to say Dying Light 2, but...
I think you've already done that 2 times.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you yelled at me because I did it before it came out.
Right before it came out.
So the next time I did it.
So imagine how much I would yell at you for doing it a 3rd time. Luckily, we're not doing staff recommendations.
There you go.
But I will give a plug to this. The day this comes out, if you're listening to it the day it comes out, and God knows if you are, it's I can't call it a gamer race, so it's probably just going to be senseless murder and screaming, if I had to guess.
Yep.
But we're going to be playing Magicka on the YouTube channel. If you're on the Facebook, there'll be a thing, and then I'll try to update Twitter, whatever. But if you're listening to this, heads up, it's happening tonight. If not, you missed it.
And you can find it in the YouTube library.
No, but nobody does that.
But you can.
Yeah, anything's possible.
You know what? Do it this one time. Just check it out. Watch 30 seconds of it. If you don't like, if we're not entertaining in 30 seconds, just unsubscribe from the channel.
I feel like 30 seconds is not a lot of time because
Oh, it's not my channel. I don't care.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
But watch for 10 minutes. Even speed it up.
Get past the green room at least.
Past the intro.
Oh, boy. Okay, guys. And also, maybe I'll start doing Twitch.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I'm going to try. Maybe. Because it really integrates well with OBS. And YouTube's kind of a bitch to deal with sometimes. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Krista, you want to recommend a small business that we haven't yet?
Yeah, so I'll recommend the Copper Crescent. She's local to Arizona. She does a lot of she makes her own like beard oils and perfumes and soaps and all this crazy stuff. And she was my neighbor at my most recent event. She's super cool. She just got into doing wholesale stuff.
Give us the details. Like the Instagram
The Copper
handle or
Crescent.
something?
Copper Crescent is her Instagram and her business name. So
I feel like everybody, especially in your, and by your I mean the small business community type thing, like Instagram is that lifeline.
it's insane because I didn't put my Instagram handle on my business cards because I didn't really use it that much for that. And now everybody
you've come to
wants
find out it is like the fucking life's blood.
Everything.
It is the cooked part of you when you get struck by lightning.
Yeah. So I just had to add my Instagram handle on my business cards that I just ordered, and now I have to post to both just because.
See, isn't that weird? I didn't ever think I would move over to YouTube, but I spend most of my time there now anyway.
Right.
All right, man. RJ, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm sorry that we'll never make $1 million off of my cursed camera movie, but the parody,
Yeah.
still a possibility.
I'm down for it.
Here's the problem. You live so far away. It's going to be a real bitch to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, like, the landscapes are 100% different.
Yeah.
There'll be like pine trees in mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. If we could... Oh, man.
I mean, that might be part of the comedy right there.
Let me get at you after the show. I don't want to tip my hand because some motherfuckers might actually be trying to steal this. And you know what? I see more and more hats every day, and I feel like highway hats could be a thing. So,
Yep.
Until next time, guys, I'm Dave.
I'm Krista.
I'm RJ.
Saying we'll see you next time. Another great episode of whatever comes up next on this channel. See you.
Or they try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.
Don't go anywhere. FFOP Radio will be right back.
Now do a little talking for me, RJ, and confirm that Audacity is picking up your voice.
7, 8, 9, 10. It's picking up my voice.
Oh, hey, and that also clued me in that I had to mute you on this end. Now say something.
Something.
Perfect. Yeah, because, this board is very complex. You got to push all these buttons for various things that you want to happen, and it's like, what?
Don't we have to do the count?
Yeah, let's do the count. Are you ready, RJ? 1.
Hopefully.
Oh, God damn it! That first one that is in the trash, I'm going to have to bring up now. This is the second one you screwed up in a row. I can't work like this. All right. 1,
2,
3.
4.
Yeah, after all that, I still made you do it. Even though there was plenty of
Well,
area
you can't
to
be
cut
like,
together.
are you ready, RJ? 1. Like, that's a question and then the 1. Then he's like, hopefully, yes, 2.
It was a rhetorical question. That it was obviously. We've been talking. Everybody's ready.
I'm not ready.
Look, I took one note for this show, but I'll get to it after we talk about your cat.